All right, music fans, welcome. Harmless Dave here on the Harmless Dave channel, talking about real music and politics. Oh no, I have people all the time. I was gonna watch this video, but you can watch something else, or not. I have people. I'm unsubscribing. Okie dokie, then have a good time subscribing somewhere else. Anyway, doing what I do in real time for a few real people, just like you right there, and just like me here. So, why is this video going to be somewhat political? Because John Fogerty is bringing up like a 50-year-old argument to bash Donald Trump with. And again, I'm not in the tank necessarily for Trump. I have voted for him, and I like a lot of the things he's trying to do. But honestly, I think we're at an impasse because all of these other things tend to control the presidency. And even though people will call him a dictator, call him this and that, the truth of the matter is so much doesn't get done because someone has an interest in throwing a wrench in it to stop it. And Fogerty's complaint about Trump and Fortunate Son, these people don't understand. Trump is a fortunate son. They don't see the irony in this. Fortunate Son, again, I don't need to explain the song to people. It's ridiculous to have to explain it. Apparently, Fogerty wants to relitigate the whole thing and say, he doesn't understand that this was about somebody who got a pass from going to war, a senator's son, and he was the son of a wealthy man, and he got a pass from going to the war. Now, first of all, Donald Trump wasn't a senator's son. Fred Trump, I believe, was his father, had tons of money. And yes, the people that hate Trump say, yeah, he made all his money because of his dad. His dad just gave him money. And so then, he took the money and he went bankrupt a bunch of times. But I think, didn't he become like a multi-billionaire after a while with the bankruptcies and everything? I mean, you can look at that as a successful failure. Look, folks, I don't like everything that Donald Trump says and does. I say this all the time. But what is the alternative that people think would be better? So let me get to the Fogerty stuff, though, because then I'm going to go off on tangents, and it's already not making sense. So because Trump used the song Fortunate Son at one of his rallies, because the people at the rally probably like the song, and he's like, oh, you can't use Fortunate Son. I don't want to give you permission to use that song. Now, from what I understand, if Trump pays the royalty on the song, anybody can use the song. If Trump started a radio station and started playing Fortunate Son, his radio station could play the song. It'd be Trump Radio, WTRUMP. Knowing Trump, he changed the FCC rules to allow that many call letters. Might be entertaining, right? Trump Radio, all Trump, all the time. There's a country station down the road from me that's called Trump Country, and it's hysterical. They have all the liners. I actually did a little video short about it. But this argument that people who like Trump don't understand what the song means, we do. Many of us voted for Trump because he says, hey, I don't like war. I don't want to start new wars. I'd like to end the wars. You want to know something? Recently, Hillary Clinton, who, by the way, is probably saying all this stuff so she doesn't go under investigation again. Hillary Clinton said if Trump is able to negotiate a peace deal between Russia and Ukraine, that he deserves the Nobel Peace Prize. All right. That doesn't really line up with all of this Fortunate Son rhetoric from like 50 years ago. We're just going to bring this back, and I guess we have to explain it to all these MAGA idiots that don't understand that this was about a senator with privilege and getting his son out of the draft and not having to go to Vietnam. So it's weird how they would play it at a Trump rally. Really, it's weird that the president, the guy who's more anti-war, would have this at his rally. It's really weird, huh? It's strange. What I notice is there's no evolution when it comes to thought, whether it's Neil Young or John Fogerty, Joni Mitchell, whoever these people are from the past. They don't look at a situation and go, okay, well, he's talking about how he hates war. People, even if it's just rhetoric, folks, presidents don't talk like that typically. They usually say, well, gotta go find those weapons of mass destruction. Gotta find them. Where'd they go? Oh, we'll keep bombing people until we get them. If we don't get them, we'll start another war. We'll do 20 years in Afghanistan. And that's better. Well, that was George W. Bush. He's a Republican. Trump hates the Bush people. He hates them. All right. So this is like the rock media, like their take on stuff, like Republican bad, Democrat good. That's all they know. That's all they know. And so pretty much every musician that steps forward, we're going to give you a big platform. You're going to be able to tell your story about how Republicans suck and want to shut down all your music or some stupid thing, right? And folks, things have changed. Who do you think the military industrial complex wanted to be president last time around? Who do you think? Well, I bet you it was Kamala Harris, like 10-1, because they knew Trump was going to shut stuff down. Like Trump wanted to trim the budgets and make things a little more difficult for the military. I mean, he builds it up, but then he wants to just not use it. Of course, he's going into cities now, trying to clean up the cities, and people are upset about that, Safety. You don't need no stinking safety. Anyway, I can almost guarantee you, folks, that Kamala Harris would have been a blank check for the war in Ukraine, the war in Israel, pretty much everywhere the military would say to her, you know what, you don't really know anything about anything, so we're just going to run this. And she would be like, okay, sure, you guys run it. It'll help me politically. It'll make me look tough. I want to look tough. I'm Kamala Harris. I need to be tough. I can pretend that I don't like it, but I'm just going to go along with it. Trump doesn't like it. He genuinely doesn't like it. So this stuff with Fogerty, he's so far behind when it comes to understanding the current political climate out here. I mean, what a coalition that Trump put together with Tulsi Gabbard. You can't get much more anti-war than Tulsi Gabbard, who is now in charge of finding out where all the bodies are buried. Robert F. Kennedy Jr. I mean, this is a coalition that I had never seen in my lifetime. And it persuaded a lot of people who are kind of on the fence, like, yeah, I don't like Trump. I don't like what he says. You have Tulsi and RFK. It's different, folks. This isn't the old, Nixon versus McGovern. Okay, it isn't that anymore. And Fogerty still clings to this old thing about Fortunate Son. I agree with Fortunate Son. It's a great song, super well written, makes a very good point, which we should definitely listen to today. I'm sure, with a voluntary military force, this isn't as urgent. But who knows? If they ever reinstitute the draft, this might become a big issue again. I don't foresee that happening. You make the military more appealing and less weird, less woke. People are probably going to want to join up again. And apparently recruitment numbers are way up. So I'm not a fan of war, okay? We are involved in things that we shouldn't be involved in. And a lot of times we say one thing to the media, and then behind the scenes, there's a whole bunch of crap going on that either isn't reported because people don't want to lose their ad revenue, or they don't want to look like they're going against whatever the plan is. And it seems the only time the military, or rather, I'm sorry, the only time that the media will say something positive about Trump is when he goes and bombs someone. That's it. Happened the first time when they launched those missiles over in Syria. And was that guy, Brian Williams, was describing the missile launch like it was like a Shakespearean play or something. Just like giving this poem out, or I forget how that went down, but I remember it. I'm like, oh man. So this is the only time if Trump just started bombing people, they'd be like, yeah, Donald Trump, we misjudged him. He's really good. He wants to destroy the world. So in any event, John Fogerty, buddy, you need to catch up with everybody. I know you're getting old. By the way, Fogerty redid all the CCR stuff, and I have to say, it sounds good. It sounds really good. Vocally, he sounds great. The production value on it is great. But I will say this to kind of summarize, you didn't need to do that, buddy. The old stuff stands up really well. The old production on those tracks, I really enjoy. And again, if it's good, there's really no need to continue to update it. So, yeah. Anyway, before I go, I want to share this band. I've been sharing them. King, Exile and Grace. This came out a number of years ago. And it's blues, it's rock, it's very Bad Company, Paul Carrick, Ace, but you know, it can be R&B at times, and it can be just pure contemporary blues oriented sounding stuff. So check these guys out. They're from the UK, and if you need a replacement band to replace your old moldy classic rock, this one here might be the ticket. You could start with this album. I tell people this one here, it's just, I've had people come back to me and say, Dave, this is just, I'm like, yeah, I know. Well, where's it been? Well, nobody talks about it here in the States. Nobody talks about it. So here I am talking about it. Anyway, folks, speaking of grace, remember, it's about grace. It's not about your works. It's about God and what he's done for you. You can't earn your salvation. God's already done it for you. He's done it through Jesus Christ. So put your faith and trust in him and sit back, because there's nothing else you need to do in order to be saved. All right. God bless. See you soon.